all of a sudden like spikes shoot out of the ground and out of the walls, and they just like spear all the murder bots all at once. And then Jeff Bezos throws up a force field that like protects his own body, and it
Wait,
breaks the spikes.
okay. So the spikes are strong enough to destroy the robots, but the sun is not.
Yes. Jeff Bezos, I'm sure you know that he now owns the moon. That's what everyone believes now.
Yeah, this is my first time hearing about it, but
I guess it's just a fact.
okay.
Now our story begins within the library, the Illuminati library, after Jeff Bezos was done doing a cool ritual with his billionaire bros. He was perusing the Illuminati library, just searching for little tidbits of knowledge, and then he came across, you know, some knowledge that told him that the moon was a space station.
Oh,
It was an
is this? I imagine this is like the library from Avatar.
yeah,
Okay, under some sand
that probably is exactly how I picture it.
in the Gobi Desert.
In the Gobi Desert somewhere where
He
they
didn't he make a big clock in the mountains somewhere? It ticks once a year.
that's cool.
Yeah, he did that, and it's definitely not a secret base or something.
That sounds like a villain's base.
Well, he did. Apparently, he owns the moon. So,
It does. In this story, he does get the Lex Luthor armor, so that's he
oh,
does. Yeah,
okay. All right,
that does.
let's get into
I
that.
guess I guess this part of it that comes a little later, but yeah, when he was in the library of the Illuminati library, he looked up in an ancient text that there was an Atlantean space station there, and he's like, wow, I could reverse engineer this miraculous technology and make myself Amazon warehouses on the moon. That would be an incredible use of this awe-inspiring power. And so, he just set out to first he needed to, convince everyone that he owned the moon first, that he was the owner of the moon. But
So that's step one.
that's step one. So what he did was he printed in the Washington Post that the United Nations gave him the moon, and that worked. He did it. They and then
Nobody questioned it.
I mean, like he paid Elon Musk. He's formed an alliance with Elon Musk to get Twitter to say that that he owned the moon, and then he just paid the mainstream news stations that say, oh yeah, Elon Musk, or not Elon, Jeff Bezos owns the moon now. But yeah, people questioned it. Like people on YouTube, like independent journalists and like YouTubers, they questioned, like, hey, there's no proof for this. But they were just nerds. Those were just beta nerds who questioned what Jeff
You're too
Bezos
old to say beta like that.
did.
I'm too old to say beta like that. You're older than me.
I I know. I say all of it.
Gross.
Anyway, they yeah, they did question it, but the mainstream stuff all said that he owned it, so that was just as good as the truth. So he's like, "Oh, I own the moon now," and then they're like, "Okay, I guess so." So after that, he decided to, he needed new rocket scientists to build him a better rocket, and so what he did was he got to the greatest rocket scientists of our imagination, the Dr. Robotnik, the great Eggman, the arch enemy of
They got
Sonic
like
the Hedgehog.
Mark Rober or something or whatever.
Just
Makes
Dr.
squirrel
Robot,
things.
and then also Wallace and Gromit, both of them.
Okay.
So this
That's
this trio made an incredible spaceship for Jeff Bezos. Wallace and Gromit are incredible craftsmen because they were able to they made a spaceship like out of wood and metal in their
it's just
basement
out of scrap.
out of scraps, and then and Jeff Bezos needed that ingenuity for himself, so They built him a giant rocket. It was basically it's just a it was just a nude Jeff Bezos. He's just kind of standing up like, yeah, like just hands on his hips, just proud.
Gross.
And that's the spaceship. It's just a
Does it
giant.
have a little docking port in the groin area?
I'm just gonna let you guess where the bridge is,
Okay.
and then
Probably the eyes.
because previously Jeff Bezos liked his spaceships to look like phalluses, but this one he wanted it to be special. He wanted to be all of himself,
An extra
and
big
then and then also and then also the bridge. I'm gonna call it the bridge of the spaceship.
Jeez.
So they
Speaking of Wallace and Gromit, I'm looking up Wensleydale.
Wensleydale. Oh,
Wensleydale.
that's a type of
Oh
cheese I
man.
forgot.
Yeah.
I want I want cheese. Anyway,
Interesting. Well, that's why Jeff is going to the moon. It's
yeah.
for the cheese.
So yeah, he loaded up the spaceship with he got some cheese in there too, and then he got some murder bots. He got some Elon Musk murder robots to help him
Mhm.
out, to like come follow him up on the moon, because what if there was leftover ancient booby traps that could be ancient like ancient, you know, defensive measures that could, protect
Yeah.
the moon base that could still be lying around. So Jeff Bezos, he wanted to make sure. So he brought some murder bots with him. And so,
Mhm.
they rocketed to the moon, and Wallace and Gromit and Robotnik, they also made him the Lex Luthor armor. So Jeff Bezos had a suit of armor that's the purple and green, and it is a force field instead of a helmet, so his enemies can see his
Okay.
face, because that's how he likes
Okay.
to fight. That's how he likes to battle. He doesn't like to hide his face behind a mask. He
Of
likes he likes
course.
to show his full face like Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
It's,
Because he's vain.
yeah, no, he's not. He's humble and kind and generous.
With a
And
great laugh.
yes, so he
Oh,
he rockets to the moon. He goes all the way up there, and then he lands near the secret cave entrance to the cave, the secret moon cave, and he just he finds that, kind of lands down there, and then they all get out, and he jumps over there in the moon, and then he sees he opens up the first door, and with his super strength, because it's just kind of welded shut, and then the second, well, he has
wait, does
super
he
strength
have
because of the
super
suit.
strength or the power? Okay, I was gonna
The
say the
power suit
power.
has
Okay, the
super
power
strength.
suit is okay.
That's ridiculous. No, the power suit does. the and then
All
and
right.
then he finds himself in front of a second door, but it has a riddle upon it that says, "Speak, friend, and enter." And Jeff Bezos, he looks at it, and then he says, "Friend," and then the suit, it translates for him.
Bello.
It translates it into Elvish for him, because he couldn't remember the exact quote from Lord of the Rings, but he
Wait,
knew
this is existing on the moon right now
for about
as an elven
20,000.
door.
It's been on here for about 20,000 years. This is where,
Okay, okay.
I don't know, J.R.R. Tolkien got the idea from them. I don't
Oh, I see.
know. It's then and then he opened up they opened up that, and then he went into the airlock, and then he opened it, and then another door slid open, and then they found themselves inside like a giant, just like an giant industrial shaft, what it looks like. Just and then it was filled with
He
boiling
does like
water.
he does like shafts.
Yes, but this was an industrial shaft for like mining. But it was also filled with boiling water. It was very hot water that was boiling inside, and but this
I
wasn't
thought.
really a problem for Jeff Bezos, because this his suit was designed for extreme environments.
See, I thought it was going to open the door and it would be like the dome from Teletubbies, like the big planes,
No, it's
the
just
little
a
robot dog
it's just a boring industrial shaft. It's filled with water.
filled with
So he
boiling water.
so he decides to dive into the water, because the suit can handle it. He could fly through the sun in his suit. It's so powerful. That's how powerful
Okay,
his suit is. And
that's
then
pretty strong.
his musk bots are similarly strong, so they follow him into the boiling water, and then they dive down, 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 and Jeff Bezos sees a light and he swims towards it. He gets closer and closer, and then gravity kind of seems to switch, and then when he finally comes up and he
It's pretty deep.
yeah he finally comes up and he into a McDonald's ball pit. He finds himself
What?
inside a
What is
sunken
happening?
it's a flooded McDonald's ball pit that he has found himself in.
Is it the first McDonald's?
And he's very confused because, well, it seems like it's a McDonald's that he knows from his childhood. It seems familiar to
Oh,
him. So he gets out of the ball pit and he's just kind of looking around. It's just like dark, and like all the prices are wrong because it's an ancient McDonald's from like the 80s or 90s. So like the prices are too low for nowadays. And he and they still have the Mick asbestos. They're still serving that. Back then, that's how old it is.
asbestos.
The Mick asbestos.
Okay.
And then they so he decides to goes out of the McDonald's, and he sees like it's just like a dark alleyway that just has like flickering lights that kind of create a little shaft, or like a little avenue for him. So he just kind of decides to follow the lights, and he goes down
Wait, this
there.
is like the back door of the Mickey D's.
Yeah, he goes out there. It seems to be the only place because the McDonald's is half sunken, so it's like the only way he can go is out the back door. And he sees this. He goes down the alleyway, and the further down he goes, he gets an uneasy feeling, and then suddenly he sees a giant mouth, and just filled
Gross.
with
What is
just with giant rows of teeth, just a bunch of rows of teeth, and it
Ew.
opens, and Jeff Bezos, he stands back and he looks up and he sees that it's a moon spider, and he's like, "Oh no, I've only heard but tales of the moon spider. They weave
Did not expect
dreams.
that.
They weave dreams instead of
Okay.
webs." So
All right.
he has weaved a dream of mine into reality, and now he has caught me within it. But I must act
Mhm.
quickly, or else I shall become prey to the moon spider. And then he
Okay.
says all this, and then the moon spider like opens his mouth and gets ready to eat them. And Jeff Bezos, he reaches into his utility belt, and then he pulls out his checkbook really quick, and he's like, "Spider, I
Wait, it's
I
it's not this spider, is it?
I wish."
It's
I
not
think I drew it.
Monster Musume.
It
Okay.
was gross. Those are my favorite spiders. Girl spiders. I wish.
Oh, like
I'm
the one
not a
from Dark
furry.
Souls.
I'm not a furry, but I like the spider girls. Those are
What's
the only
like
ones I like,
a
are the spider girls.
spindle or spindly?
Yeah, they're spindly legs.
Oh gosh. Gross.
So it weaved a dream. It caught Jeff Bezos inside and was about to eat him. So Jeff Bezos, he whipped out his checkbook. He's like, "Spider, I'll let's make a trade. I will give you as many Amazon gift dollars as you want if you spare my life and let us be free." And then the spider, he just kind of opened his mouth. He looked at Jeff Bezos with his 13 eyes, and he opened his mouth wider, and he was like, "This seems reasonable. I would like
They don't have
five
Prime on the moon, I don't think.
five Amazon gift dollars to
Just
spend on
five.
Amazon.com/moon, because Amazon is a wonderful company that can deliver you products fast and conveniently.
Not
And
sponsored by Amazon.
and Jeff Bezos, you don't treat your workers badly. I think you treat your workers very well." And then Jeff Bezos is like, "Whoa, that's actually a good point, Mr. Spider. I do treat my workers rather well, and I think that I am a good boss, despite what some, you know, beta cuck, blue pilled, like chuds seem to say about it. But
I'm sure
I'm
that's how he speaks.
I'm in the right, and that he I'm in the right. And then the spider's like, yes, if you give me 5 Amazon gift dollars, that would be much appreciated, and I would let you pass. And then
Get a
Jeff
really nice
Bezos,
toothbrush.
and and then Jeff Bezos, he's like, he gives the spider, he hands the spider the card. It kind of just drops from its claw because he can't really hold very well. Like he eventually just kind of balances it on the top of the claw. And it's like, okay, there you go. Just try not to lose that. And the spider's like, why, thank you. I, I'm going to show my girlfriend this. We're going to get married soon. It's actually a pretty cool story how we met. It's hard for moon spiders to actually meet. And then Jeff Bezos is like, oh yeah.
So
I'm gonna
yeah,
keep
yeah,
going. Yeah, I'm
peace.
gonna keep going. We're gonna move on over to the.
Yeah, I gotta
There's
get
a
going.
there's a
Yeah,
city.
lots going on.
But yeah, the spider tells them that there's a city further along where the
Okay.
control center for the entire moon is. And so Jeff Bezos he thanks the spider, and the spider says, "You're welcome, Jeff Bezos. You can call on me anytime except for inside that city. I'm scared of that city. So that
Can't
but
even call me from inside it.
not from there. But any other time, because you're my best friend now, Jeff Bezos. You're so cool." And and so Jeff Bezos was like, "You're welcome, Spider." And then it keeps moving on, keeps going on into the cave, and he finally sees that there's a giant ancient Atlantean city inside, and he, and there's just it's a bunch of pyramids. There's just a bunch of metal pyramids made of
Okay.
chrome pyramids.
Like the ones from SpongeBob.
Yeah, like
Everything's
that.
chrome in the
Every,
future.
everything's chrome, but this is the past. But it's a
Well, they're
futuristic
so far
civilization
in the future from the past that it's chrome.
that is just root back around on itself.
Yeah.
And so he sees this, and like he kind of gets an uneasy feeling that like he doesn't know what like he doesn't see anyone in the city. It just seems to be empty, and like the murder bots are following him. And he tells the murder bots like, keep an eye out, boys. We got, I don't know, I don't see anyone. Keep an eye out. And so they keep going on, and then all of a sudden like spikes shoot out of the ground and out of the walls, and they just like spear all the murder bots all at once. And then Jeff Bezos throws up a force field that like protects his own body, and it
Wait.
breaks the spikes.
Okay. So the spikes are strong enough to destroy the robots, but the sun is not.
Yes, that's how powerful these spikes are,
Okay.
but they're
Okay.
not powerful enough to break through Jeff Bezos force field.
Okay.
And then
So some things aren't making too much sense, I think.
I think it's fairly consistent.
Okay.
The so so like Jeff Bezos, he's confused. He looks around for anyone, and then he sees like a ghost, like a ghostly form of a head just appear in front of him, and just like, who are you? And then Jeff Bezos is like, well, who are you? I asked first.
Well, who are you?
And then the face is like, no, I'm the one who asked first. And then Jeff Bezos is like, no, I'm pretty sure I asked first. And like, then the face is like, fine, the I am the consciousness of an ancient Atlantean that was uploaded into the city, and I now guard and protect the city with my existence.
So the wait, the oh, did I miss that? The Atlanteans are on the moon. They were the first ones there.
Yeah, they built the space station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an Atlantean space station.
I
So,
see.
and then one of their Atlantean priests, he uploaded his consciousness inside the city to protect it.
Okay, makes sense.
They told me to protect it, and I was like, okay, I got this. I can totally do this. But but then he but then I realized that not very many people actually come to the moon. It's a very boring job. Like a couple of people came to the surface once, but they didn't even find the secret moon tunnels. I'd just been so bored. And what? But I finally got to use my killing power, and now you shall die too. And then Jeff Bezos is like, wait a second, I, but hear me out. And then he takes out a copy of the Washington Post and he's like, it says that you're actually, that this is actually my moon. UN actually gave the moon to me. And so I own it now. And then the security system, like, how can
How
people
can this
just give
be?
you, how can they just give you the moon? That seems impossible. And then there's like, well, it's in the Washington Post right here. They printed it. They said so. And
What is Washington? And
he's like,
why do they have a post?
well, that sounds good because the Washington Post is a reputable source of news, and I believe that
Yeah,
whatever it says,
sure.
that we should probably listen to it.
Oh yeah.
And so now you own the moon. I shall hand over all my security systems to you, Jeff Bezos, and I am now at your hands and your control. And
This
Jeff,
is extremely easy for Jeff. He's
and then
just
Jeff,
waltzing through.
and then Jeff Bezos. I
It's
said it was
because
a
he's a
bad story.
billionaire.
No, I said it was a bad story.
Okay.
It's where you just go, you glide through every obstacle. That's
Jeez.
how you know it's a bad story.
Oh my gosh.
so we, so yeah, the thing helps him out, and then Jeff Bezos, he's able to unlock the teleportation and like the matter like creation, like you can just basically like type in anything and it'll make something, create anything out of thin air, pretty much out of just like
Okay.
carbon, loose carbon, like in Star Trek, the materializer. And then he has like
Okay.
teleportation, and then he also has like giant warehouses, which he starts retrofitting into becoming Amazon warehouses. So
Mm,
he
of
teleports
course.
back to Earth really quick, and then he rescues a Filipino family to come and live on the moon, to kind of
Rescues to
he rescues them to
receive a
live
good
on the
wage.
moon, and then where they happily they start they start working up there, where they're able to, they take the orders and then they kind of type it in, and then it comes to life, and then they like type it into the teleporter and it just like automatically ships to them. Like
With
it's
a
like,
premium price because it's from the moon.
oh yeah, no, you got it. Yeah, that is true. It's a premium price because it's from the moon. It costs him nothing, but he does charge a premium. And then
Where does he get the extra carbon to make the stuff?
it's just the moon.
Also, he's using the well, won't the moon run out eventually?
I'm sure he can grab an asteroid.
Oh,
He has
okay.
teleportation now. You can just like
Oh,
teleport
okay.
more carbon, I'm
Just grab
sure.
an asteroid, bring it in.
Grab that. And then yeah, so fortunately, Jeff Bezos was like able to like fire most of his like delivery workers and his like warehouse workers, because he was able to like replace that with the moon stuff. And so he was like able to like get rid of like those annoying stopgaps made that didn't make him a trillionaire. So like instead of like having like
Oh,
these
okay.
like little, it's like a river where like they're trying to, like these little
No idea what you're
outlets
talking
that,
about. Okay.
like it's like a river whose outlets kind of divert the flow, but he just needs, like, the flow just needs to go directly up to him. So
So
Jeff Bezos,
he's not paying all those peons
yeah,
down in accounting.
and and like there were protests about like them not paying the Filipino family up on the moon, but like you but technically you can't impose Earth laws on another
It's,
celestial
he
body.
just gets all the loopholes
You can't
because
can't do that. I wouldn't go to the planet Floor Glorb and be like, "Hey, Floor Glorbians, we Earthlings know what's best. You should follow our rules." You just can't do that. So basically, it's the same thing for Jeff Bezos. You can't like impose Earth rules
even though he's from
on.
Earth,
Well, you can't. Well, he got a citizenship. He now has a moon citizenship.
hey, he just gets all the loopholes.
Yeah, and then he won. And then
I guess
he
I
he
don't even know why am I arguing. This is just he
it's,
just gets his way.
he gets his way, and then he makes So much money. The end. Well, and then he rewards Wallace and Gromit and Robotnik. He takes
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
he yeah, he gets captures Sonic the Hedgehog for Robotnik, and then Robotnik like just he puts Sonic in a cage over a pot of boiling peanuts, and then he
Right.
just to make him super uncomfortable while Robotnik gets kind of some slight hedgehog flavored peanuts. They're like, these peanuts are for me, Sonic. I'm not going to dip you in the peanuts. That would be gross.
I just want to LaCroix the peanuts.
Well,
Give it
I
some
don't want to
essence.
be in a boiling peanuts.
I don't even get
No,
any chili cheese dogs up here.
it's not even chili cheese dog. I'm too slow, is what he said while in the cage. And
Sonic
then,
was on the run, and he was number one.
then,
So stupid.
and then Wallace and Gromit got every cheese as a
Dun, dun,
reward.
dun, 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 dun.
They got Wensleydale. They got cheddar.
Wensleydale.
They got brie.
Smoked Gouda.
They got Gouda.
All the cheeses.
They got cotton candy. No, cottage cheese. I'm not going to name
Gross.
cheeses. Oh, you hush. Or even is you. Anyway,
That was
but yeah,
quite something.
that's pretty much the story.
Is almost nothing. That's how little of sustenance that had.
Yeah, he wanted to get the moon, and then he did, and then he made a lot of money. That's the hero's journey. That's how the
That's
hero's journey works.
that's
When
the
a
hero's
billionaire
journey.
becomes a trillionaire, that's the hero's journey.
Okay.
That's how it's a happy ending.
For the Filipino family, I was very happy.
They get to sleep 5 hours a night. They get 5 whole hours to sleep a day. That's pretty generous of Jeff Bezos.
Okay.
They
They
can
get to wear cool merch.
they can we're not going to talk about what they wear.
It's
We keep
akin to a
calling them
loincloth.
prison jumpsuits, but it's more of a
Just because they're orange and have short sleeves
orange.
and it's a one piece thing
And just because
doesn't mean.
there's a bomb attached to them to, if
Oh
they
my
ever try to
gosh, that's awful.
if they ever try to use the teleporter to go back to Earth, Jeff Bezos is protecting them by making a
Right,
device that will
right.
turn them inside out if they try to use the teleporter. He's
Oh,
protecting them. Like, what if they clocked in
okay.
and then like just went to Earth? That's company time. They're using up company time if
Jeez.
they that's a possibility. So he's protecting the
It's
interest of
protecting
the workers'
Okay.
rights by putting a device that turns them inside out if they
Yeah, that
teleport.
sounds very reasonable.
It's, so yeah,
This is like a Ready Player One. Like they're strapped in and then they can't leave until they die in the game.
I mean, Ready Player One did also have a bad ending. Had a pretty dystopian ending. I loved it. It's like, what?
But Ready Player One? Ready Player One was like, hey,
Yeah,
you won the thing.
he won the thing. The rest of the world is still screwed.
No, because
Like,
he sets up foundations and helps. That was the point of it. That's a hit going with the girl.
I don't think that's what happened in Ready Player Two, though. I think I think they kind of admit he's a dick in the Ready Player Two because
Well,
he doesn't really help the world very much.
Ready Player Two doesn't exist in my brain because Ready Player One was the perfect book. So that's where I
Yeah,
am with that.
I think one of the reasons they didn't make Ready Player Two was that they didn't have the heart to tell Steven Spielberg that he 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 pitched them Sword Art Online. He pitched the plot to Sword Art Online to them for Ready Player Two, and they're like, "Oh, I guess we'll make a joke in there that this is like Sword Art Online."
Did
And
they
it
actually do
wasn't
that?
I think that was the.
I didn't read it because I was like, there's no reason to have a sequel.
I can't remember if the book. I can't remember if the. Right. I can't remember if that happens in Ready the book. I'm thinking about. I think that was the pitch for the movie though, but I can't remember the book. I never read the
It doesn't need a sequel. Just like Moana
book.
didn't need a sequel.
No.
Anyway, that was an
I
interesting story.
Oh, if Moana ended, I wanted Moana to end like there's a lore accurate. Did Maui, what's his name? Maui the Rock.
Yeah.
Uh he
Look, there he
like
is.
yeah, there he is. In the mythology, the way he dies is I mean they better does he die lore accurately? I don't know how to describe it.
But he doesn't die.
What?
They got
I
to make a
wanted
third one.
really he
They
better
set up a
die.
third one.
He better die the way he does in the legends, or else I'm gonna be upset.
Legends.
So, well, in the mythology, like the Polynesian mythologies or whatever it
Oh,
is, Maori, Polynesian, I don't know,
Maori.
Maori. But
Well,
in
I don't
that
know.
he transforms into a worm and then he tries to go up into a goddess and then she
Oh,
crushes him
ew.
and that's how he dies.
With her Kegel exercises, she
Yeah, yeah,
squishes
she
him.
that's how
Gross.
he dies. And I need Disney to accurately recreate that legend. I don't want them to just back out of, doing lore accuracy.
Nasty.
It's what the it's be so gross.
Uh, no, that was actually probably like the second worst film I've ever seen. The worst being Wonder Woman 82, 84,
Oh, I
whatever
just
it
saw
is.
Joker Folie à Deux.
Oh, I bet that was bad.
I loved it so much. It was so funny. It's the funniest troll movie. It's intentionally made to, make people angry.
Mhm.
And it like intentionally made it, yeah, just everyone hate it
Ugh,
on purpose. It's like, did you like Joker?
gross.
Well, now he's a dancing, just a pathetic dancing man who's into musicals and then he dies. The end. It's like there's no point. It's very funny. It's a very good troll movie.
I didn't even watch the first one because I don't care for the Joker that much, to be perfectly
Ah,
honest. Also, he doesn't need a standalone movie. It's like Craven, right? These are villains of heroes that are separated from the hero, and it doesn't work.
that's true. In the comics, Joker and Batman have the same teacher that mentally trains them. So like the guy who trains Batman to like ignore pain and to ignore like exhaustion and stuff like that. He also trained Joker to do the same thing, not to make split personalities. Actually, this is actually a this has been bugging me so much for the last few couple weeks. So in Batman has a backup personality called Zur-En-Arrh, and it like creates a so while Batman is like passed out, Zur-En-Arrh takes over and he creates like a backup robot called Failsafe that can take out Batman if needed. So like years later, that gets activated and blah blah, blah whatever. But later, Zur-En-Arrh he somehow he transfers his consciousness into the robot, and I'm like, how does that happen? Because if it's it's Bruce Wayne, it's Batman, it's Bruce Wayne Batman. You can't split like if a split personality isn't a separate consciousness. It's just like you just have separate memories from like yourself. But I don't think it's like a separate entity that lives in your mind. And they put but somehow this backup personality put himself inside a robot, and that bugs me. The end. That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to talk to somebody smarter than me about that. I don't know. Well, all right then.
All right.
There's that.
Thank you for joining us.